Hello, good evening, and welcome to another exciting moment of investment education. On air, I'm Abayomi Obabulujo. We've got a lot to do on the platform this day, in the sense that this is the first major earnings season of 2022, and I must confess, the earnings are rolling in, not trickling in, they are rolling in droves. And not that alone, they are coming in very powerfully. The earnings are not looking bad. And then, but it is not all about earnings being released. It is all in your ability to allow the earnings to speak to you. In other words, you should be able to interpret what the figures are saying. In other words, you need a critical analysis of the figures that are being dished out by the quoted companies that are listed on the floors of the NGX, so that you will be able to make informed investment decision. And that is all we are noted for. Hence, our name is Stocks Watch. So today, I have here seated in the studio now, Aruna Kibira. Because of time, we just have to go on. We cannot afford to wait too much for Malam Garba Kofi, but I know in the course of this presentation, he's going to join us, and where we are, when he comes in, we halt for a few minutes, and then we accommodate him. It's going to be an explosive session, not argumentative per se, but in the quality of information. I will go on a short break. When I return, Aruna and myself we take off with business news and then a little bit of market analysis before Malam Garba Kofi joins us. Please make a call to your friend, your family member, your colleagues. Tell them the Oracle is here. I will be right back. Hello, I'm Abayomi Obabulujo. I'm coming to you this time around to formally invite you to be a member of Association of Avid Shareholder. In the past, I've been used and done. That is what I've seen. People who want to do private placement, they will call me, and then I will give them support. After they got the money, they become unreachable. Some of these companies, as we speak now, are being delisted from the floor of the NGX. It shouldn't be. You see, there's a limit to how far the Securities and Exchange Commission can do. There's a limit to what the NGX can do. They're just the regulators. They will not do beyond the dictate of their regulatory responsibilities. But you see, to make management of our quoted companies to sit tight is a responsibility that you and me, as investors in the market, will have to undertake. In 2008, when the market crashed, I know how much I lost. It almost ruined me. But thank God, I survived. Many people did not survive. But how many managers of quoted companies actually experienced such losses? They collect salary. They manage companies for 10 years without paying one single dividend. And yet, they pay themselves bonuses. They pay themselves salaries. What are you benefiting? So let us rise together and make sure that things are done properly, that things are done well, the way things should be done in this market. That is why in the month of February 19, 2022, we're going to be converging. The place we're going to be using really is not big enough, so you have to pre-register. Register first as a member of Association of Avid Shareholders, and then register to attend the event. As we gather together, as we embark on our mobilization, so we are also going to be previewing 2022 to tell you what stocks, what industries that you should invest, and then we tell you why. We tell you the qualities of equities you should invest in, and we also show you those you should not even bother to go near. These are the things we want to do, to share experiences, to share knowledge, to share information, to educate ourselves, so that we all can become informed investors, better investors, as we also stand to claim our right, to fight for our right, so that we can secure our future as we are investing today. That is my submission. I hope to see you. Thank you. Welcome back. Now, please join me in welcoming Haruna Kibira. Haruna Kibira is the Managing Director of Global View Capital Limited, member Nigerian Stock Exchange, member NGX, Nigerian Exchange Group, right? Haruna, you are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's take off this way. We'll still be talking about all this just slightly economic news that can also be useful to our investments. How do you feel seeing the influx of results to the market?
It's not even just the influx, it's the quality of the result that is coming to the market. I'm excited. It's just as if the Nigerian economy and the issuers that are listed on the exchange have discounted the effect of COVID-19 and they have moved on. Because you just begin to ask yourself, we have not seen this in this slide before. You see tremendous growth in thousands percentage, which I don't think is a commonplace. It has not been a commonplace in the market before. I'm excited.
So what are your expectations on the strength of these results that you are seeing?
Because a number of them came after the market on Friday, that means that the market will be agog this week.
If that is the case, what is your information? What is the advice you have, starting from the studio here, the cameramen, the people that are controlling us, and those who are out there?
Based on the quality of information we have shared and the number of stock that we have identified, that look, take position in anybody that is not taking position from tomorrow is sitting on a very long thing.
He said you are sitting on a very long thing. What is a long thing? Anything that is long.
Anything that is long.
Okay, let's take off. The Central Bank of Nigeria, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria retains MPC rate at 11.5%. The Central Bank also, in the course of last week, announced that they are reducing fees on ATM or charges on ATM and other interbank transactions. Right? So, according to the information, the Central Bank of Nigeria has decided to hold all policy parameters constant. In other words, monetary policy rate MPR is retained at 11.50%. Cash reserve ratio is retained at 27.50. Liquidity ratio is retained at 30%. The asymmetric corridor remained at plus 100 to minus 700 BPS around the MPR. They also, like I said, are reducing ATM withdrawal charges from 65 naira to 35 naira at the third withdrawal within a month. Debit card maintenance fee also removed. Electronic funds transfer reduced to 10 naira per transaction, below 5,000 naira, 26 naira for transaction of 5,001 naira to 50,000 naira, while transactions above 50,000 naira will be charged 50 naira. Now, looking at these terms, Haruna, what are their significance? MPC or MPR at 11.5%. What does that mean? What about cash reserve ratio? What does it mean? What does liquidity ratio mean? I'm asking you because I know you are an economist. And then this one is strange to me. All those other ones I can recall that we did it at the elementary level in our basic economics back in days, but we didn't do anything called asymmetric corridor. It seems to be a new term. What does it mean? You have only 1 minute to explain on this.
Let me start from MPR. MPR is the anchor interest rate that is set by the 10-man committee of MPC, Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank, which all other rates take their roots from. You ask another, so why is it retained? You see, by September 2020, the GDP growth was a negative of 3.62%, and the MPC decided to tinker with the rate by decreasing the MPR from 12.5% to 11.5%. Correspondingly, by December of that 2020, the GDP grew plus 0.11%, and it has not looked back from since then. And we discovered that if through the intervention the FX has a little bit be stable, the dollar, the price per barrel at least is headed to $100 as we speak, and inflation is moderated. So there is no reason why you have to tinker with the MPR as at this level. They're talking about the cash reserve ratio. What the commercial banks does, or what the commercial banks do, they sell and buy deposit. What the central bank have told them that for every 100 naira deposit that you get, keep 27 naira 50 kobo with the bank for emergency. And for liquidity ratio, elementary liquidity ratio is to determine your solvency. How quick can you convert your earnings, your investment from your investment to cash? So what they are trying to tell them that at every particular point in time, 30% of the investment should comprise of that is either cash or near cash. The asymmetric corridor, I think is what they are just trying to tell you, is to set a rate, a volatility rate that an upper and lower limit, because this is the anchor rate. It determines all other rate, maybe like repo rate, overnight borrowing, and treasury bill, that it should not rise above +1, that 100%, I should not fall below minus 700 to 11.5, which is the MPR.
Aruna, you have tried. I think you should also include lecturing with your capital market activities. Malam Garba Kofi is actually in the house, but we'll continue. You might get to see or hear movements. Don't worry, we will just continue, because time is really not so much in our favor. While I put the second question to Aruna, if in the process Malam is set, he can also join us. Now, Federal Inland Revenue Service reports 6.4 trillion naira as revenue in 2021. In other words, non-oil sector contributed 4.396 trillion naira, or 69% of the total collection in the year. Oil sector contributed 2.008 trillion naira, or 31% of the total collection. All right. Please also join me in welcoming Malam Garba Kofi. Malam,
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes.
All right. Well, what you met us discussing, let me put it to you. Now, the FRS says that in 2021 alone, they got 6.4 trillion naira. What does this tell Malam? That the Nigerian economy is no longer much dependent on oil, because what they generated from non-oil input was 69%, oil input 31%. What do you have to say to this?
Well, what I will say that we are seeing more transparency in the collection of the revenue and the work of technology, because they are using technology to collect most of this, and therefore leakages are gradually being reduced. And the more we reduce the leakages, the more revenue. We believe the capacity of this economy can generate more than what they have generated. So they still have more room to grow, and we believe that if many will be put into the bracket of revenue collections, we will earn more, just like other countries. We should not be talking of single digit to our GDP. We should be talking of 15 to 20% of our GDP collected as revenue. It does in South Africa. Most of the developed economy, they are generating 40 to 50%.
But the major one, the question, you have not attacked it. Is Nigerian economy doing well without oil input?
Well, I can tell you that with or without, the Nigerian economy have the capacity to do it.
Right.
Because one, we have the size. Two, we have the market. Okay. Three, remember that we are only extracting crude oil. We are not even refining it. What more if we are refining it?
Aruna, let me put this question to you. If the government is generating between 45% and 50% of its total budget from tax alone, as been said here, the federal budget for 2021, if I recall, my memory serves me right, is around 13 trillion naira.
13.6.
Out of which taxation within that year is 6.4 trillion. We are talking something in the region between 40 and 45%, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So, and then the government will still generate a lot of funds from the sales of crude, sales of one license or the other, sales of one asset or the other. Then why this huge deficit that we keep seeing? Is there something wrong with the management of all this across to the government?
No, I don't think so. I believe what happened is that the debt that is still hanging, to service that debt and to pay back, what they are generating, that you have just said, is not enough to service and pay back. If they concentrate on servicing and pay back, how do they run the economy efficiently? So there will still be need to borrow. Why they are trying to pay back and service the loan, they still be need to borrow for other expenses.
We really have so much to do. Let us suspend that for till another time. We'll still create time to talk about that. Let's go straight to market analysis, because you know we even have this that we have suspended our analysis on low cap stocks that you can consider. If time permits today, we do that. If time does not permit, we will still have a lot of time in the month of February to do that. All you just need to do is to stay glued to your channel. Anytime you get to know we are around. Malam, I put it to you, looking at the market in the course of last week, the all-share index was up 0.54%, market capitalization up 0.55% year to date. All-share index was up 8.17% and market capitalization 11.67%, but volume last week was down 22.04%. Value was down. Again, value and volume, they have to go together, 59.82%. Well, deals was up 8.14%. Volume down, value down. But deal, all-share index and market cap were all up. Seeing that there were 44 gainers last week against 33 losers, the market seems slowing down when compared, particularly the losers and the gainers, with the previous week. Will this be as a result of profit taking or what?
No, actually, I'm delighted with the performance of the market. In view of the fact, for the first time in the last 3 years, that we have got a market moving off from beginning of January to the end of the month. All other previous years, from 2019, 2020, 2021, the market will go up and come down within the month of January. But that is not the case this time around. I think we are getting it right. And secondly, the market even lost last week simply because one of the major players lost 10%. Otherwise, the market should have gained much better, but we still have a day to close for the month, and I believe that the market will do better. I'm not surprised if the market closes 10% by all-share index tomorrow.
All right. Aruna, what are the possibilities this week? Of course, I know the possibilities anyway, that the market will move up because of the results we have seen already and the ones we have been that have been expected. Right?
There is so much possibilities, especially those that release their result after the close of the market on Friday. There are so many. One of the things that I would just tell listeners to sit down, go to the site of NGX Group, look at the result and see it for yourself, then begin to take position. We have the lack of Fising, Julius Berger, Okomo Oil, Presco, Miabeka, Access, ETI, so much. The possibilities are endless, if I should use that word.
Malam, I come to you as we look at major gainers last week. EcoBank was up 44.75%. Academy Press was up 42.42%. Cordville was up 30.43% in just 1 week.
Aside Cordville, the other one we have not even seen much.
Aye.
Because based on the result that declare, I cannot imagine where they are today. Take EcoBank. This is the stock that traded 19, 20, 21 naira. At 13 naira, with these earnings, I assure you that it will still have more room to go. And it applies to most of the other stocks. So I think the rally will start this week. It's not that the month's end, the rally will just start it. For the Cordville, we can understand that if they choose to delist, so it be, but they still have more room to go. But if they choose to remain there, so it be, because there is a co-investors who have the largest share holding.
Malam, I will still put another question to you. And Aruna, be preparing, because I will still put the same question to you. Sometimes it could be very painful that we have spoken about EcoBank on this platform. The earnings
when it was 5 naira
are built over the months, all right? And it could be very painful sometimes if your emotion is like mine, saying 44% growth in 1 week and I'm not in that equity. Saying 42% growth in 1 week and I'm not in that stock. Saying 30% growth. Whereas the opportunity was there for me all the while. Malam, I put the next question to you. How can I discover this kind of opportunity?
Very simple.
Okay.
You see, you have to understand that you have to separate stocks that trade in dual exchange. Stock like Airtel, stock like Sepulveda, stock like Ecobank, they are trading in dual exchange. Not only that, they don't pay naira, they pay in dollars. Whatever the Ecobank is going to pay you in dollars. We know the exchange rate today. Let's assume just if the Eco decided to pay 10 cents. What is 10 cents? 50 naira. Which bank paid 50 naira? And they can pay that. They can afford it. And therefore, we have to understand stock that have dual exchange, don't treat them like any other stock.
Oh yeah, what other point? We have seen that.
The other thing is the performance. We have seen it for the last 2 years. Eco did not pay a
Madam,
dime.
you are using only Eco. We have seen Eco. All I want to know now is there are some other equities that we gained this week, like Eco last week.
We have seen it, the Eco that will go to that level. But the other stock that have gone like Cotbill, we have discussed it here, that if they choose to delist, they must do it at the right price. And we have seen what is going. And if you look at the other stock that go like Total,
you are telling me equities that have gained.
Yes.
I'm talking about equities that we gain. I want to make money this week.
Most of the stock that gain, they have started gaining earlier, and we have discussed them. Like fixing. I can tell anybody with an earning per share of over 1 naira, trading at 7 naira is good to go. If you take the total, look at the earning per share, you are talking of 40 naira. For a stock that is trading at 200 naira, it has room to grow.
We are coming to all this.
Name many of these stocks. Guinness. We have seen Guinness since it was traded as low as 13 naira. Now you have seen half-year result of Guinness. Look at the earning of Guinness. What will it be by the end of the year?
Okay, Madam, I will come back to you. All right, Aduna, you have 1 minute to put.
No, what I would just ask them to do is to follow me, follow this program, go to Stocks NG, and gather information. Like we have said, we talked about ETI when it was 5 naira. We talked about Academy Press when it was 30 kobo. We talked about Kodzi when it was 29 kobo. So follow me. My number is on the screen. Follow stocksng.com. Follow Malam. Follow this. Go to Metro 97.7. And when you begin to get this information, work with it.
If you follow this program and you are not making money in this market, don't blame the economy. Don't blame Pabuari. Don't blame anybody. Blame yourself. Because you could equally have put your 10,000 naira on Ecobank in 1 week. 4,400 naira will have accrued to you just 1 week. And you see, you don't necessarily need to look for such short-term thing. Look at when the cloud begins to gather. Rain doesn't just fall. Rain gathers. It starts from evaporation. What process in geography I've forgotten? Condensation. And then which one again? Saturation. I think saturation before condensation.
No,
condensation saturate, and then before the rainfall. Earnings take time to build. So you look for such when the earnings begin to show possibilities, and you stay.